Hey travelers, Mag and Florida Crafters here on the road to Hana, and we're doing this as a separate video. We're about to go exploring inside of the Hana Lava Tube, the largest lava tube to be found anywhere on Maui. We paid our admission fee, we have our flashlights in hand, and these are some serious flashlights. These get quite a bit of light, so hopefully we'll be able to get good footage in there. There's an earth cache we're gonna be answering along the way, and other than that, it's just an exploration of this lava tube. I can't wait to show you what's inside of this thing, so let's go check it out together. Come on, let's go. Florida Crafters out ahead, leading the way. She's brave enough to be the first into the lava tube, which is fine with me. If you've ever heard of the yellow canary before, when you go into mines, miners used to keep yellow canaries with them, so that if there were any gas leaks or anything like that, the yellow canary, because of its small lungs, they would be exposed first and they would drop in their cage. And the miners knew that if their yellow canary fell, that they needed to immediately exit that cave because there were some kind of gases in there. So of course, if Florida Crafters fall, we'll be doing a rescue on her. And hopefully it's not because of gases, because that seems unlikely. It's pretty far back there. We've got my camera light plus the flashlight. It's pretty bright. I think we got some to work with here. The hole you descend into the cave is called a skylight. There we go. 960 years ago, the formation of this cave. And this is a self-guided tour, so all the way through this cave, you're going to see lots of signs like this that tell you about what you're seeing along the way. It's bright now because we still have all that sunlight up there, but it certainly won't be very bright very long. Into the depths we go. Now, cave exploring isn't for everybody. I know not everybody out there wants to go find their way into a cave like this, but Florida Crafters and I both really love exploration that brings us down into the depths, so we just can't resist something like this. Alright, nice cut stairs. This is a big cave, no crouching in here. Yeah, I like that fact. And it's a very popular tourist attraction too. What's really cool is we got here before the opening hours, and they actually opened up before the opening hours. So Florida Crafters and I are the first ones in here getting to explore this cave today. I'm sure it's going to be very busy later on, and there were people in line behind us waiting to come in. But for now, making our way to the back, it's just her and I. Nobody else, except, well, I guess all you guys out there enjoying this tour along with us as well. Very high ceilings in here. This is a massive lava tube. They usually do not come this way. Now that is quite the opening. And the whole time we have water dripping down on us. So it's not uncommon to get a little splash of water here and there. I'm sure you guys can hear it with the sound of my footsteps coming into this place. This is just incredibly impressive. There's a lot of times in life where you really just got to be there to experience the full majesty of it. Video never quite gives you the full experience, but hey, it's one way to travel along and get to see these kinds of things. Am I right? Now, cave temperatures are usually very steady because they're insulated, and in this case, this cave is 66 to 72 all throughout the year. Ooh, 70% humidity, that makes sense. I feel the humidity in here. And with all the water dripping down, it ensures that this cave is constantly wet. How we doing back there, Florida Crafters?
I'm taking pictures.
Enjoying this tour so far?
Yes.
You notice I'm not focusing on the earth cache yet.
No, I'm taking pictures just
And that's not a bad strategy either. If you're getting distracted by a place like this, you come in for the earth cache and you get all the oohs and ahs on the way in. By the time you get done with it, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't even do the thing I came here for originally. So if you're taking pictures of the signs along the way, you're ensuring that you got your homework done. But we have a pretty good idea of the places we need to look at. We looked at the pages beforehand, so I know which signs I really kind of need to note. There's one room in particular we're looking for, we have to make notes on. But again, all after we finish this tour to the end. We'll have it all scoped out, and that'll make it easier on the return trip. It's pretty nice to be inside of a cave and not have to be ducking down. That's very uncommon. I'm really used to being inside these places and being at a full crouch the entire time. Instead, even the low bridge ceilings right here have so much room you never even need to consider it. Now we have been briefed, coming up near the end, there is one large boulder we'll have to duck underneath. We'll know it when we get there. We'll keep an eye out for it. I'm not overly concerned. And if you've ever bumped your head in a cave, you know just how badly it can hurt. That's why the cave divers always have helmets on, because even one little accidental hit can knock you out pretty quickly. Because when you're walking along, you turn yourself into a little battering ram. And when you get up very quickly, you actually can generate a lot of force pushing yourself upward. Blind cave insects. Oh, I did not know there were insects in here. Now that's also particularly interesting because even though there are blind insects in this cave, there are no bats. There are no predators to be found here in Hawaii, which means the bats do not need to hide out in the caves from those predators. Instead, they live out in the trees. And so these lava tubes are completely bat-free. Not that that would bother me anyway, I don't mind bats. They're pretty friendly. They can even help inspire superheroes sometimes. I can imagine this lava tube is pretty filled with people come in the middle of the day. So I think we've really gotten a treat here by being the first ones in. Look at that ceiling too. It looks like gold up there. No, it's not. That's definitely a moss. But the moss has this glitter to it that just makes it look like it's shining, glimmering gold. Pretty cool effect it creates. Definitely a good flashlight they gave me here. I have a really good flashlight, but it's compact. It's made so that it's easy to pocket and stash. And it's about as powerful a flashlight as its size could possibly be. But this is double the size and clearly double the power of what I normally use. And it seems to be giving you relatively good visuals of what we're seeing here in this cave. And we are way beyond where light can enter. So if these flashlights were to go out, it would go pitch black in a moment. And just to show you what that looks like, we're going to turn that one off. We're going to turn off my top light on my camera. And there we go. Oh, it's flashing. Now all we have is the light from my preview screen. And even that is almost pitch black. We're going to go ahead and not walk around in the dark if we can avoid it. We're going to turn this light back up to maximum setting right there. And then the great flashlight's going to go on. And we continue this tour further into the cave. Would you look at all of this? This is something else, isn't it? Now this is a very high ceiling in here. Even Inextricable Fate doesn't have to worry about bumping his head in this part of the lava tube. And he is a pretty darn tall guy. Now we do have a light source over here. It is not from me, which means right over here we may have a skylight that reaches all the way up. Wouldn't that be fascinating to see? And it does look like that's the case. That's the short way down. Right up here, we have a hole that drops straight into the cave and lets in a little bit of natural light. And right there is the low ceiling we were warned about. We're going to have to duck our way through there. I love the fact that this is a self-guided tour. It's your own pace. I've never been much of one for having a tour guide figuratively hold your hand and take you through and explain things along the way. There's plenty of research I can do on my own, before and after the fact, and I do. And I like being on my own to discover these things. Duck carefully under the low spots so you don't damage the delicate stalactites. Notice they don't actually care about your head here. They want you to duck not to damage the stalactites. It's also super nice that they put this rubber here, just in case you don't heed the excellent advice that they give you. Ooh, look at this cave. Now, without having read any of the signs, this has got to be the mudroom. There's no other explanation for what we're seeing here. Now, this is incredible on stalactites. And each of these stalactites take an incredibly long time to form. As the water drips down slowly, the minerals accumulate at the tips of them, and they slowly, ever so slowly, form this pattern reaching down. The ones that you see up high like this are called stalactites. And when you see them down low, which they're not here in this cave, they're called stalagmites. That's where the water is dripping down and accumulate, forming its way up. And you can easily remember that because one day, if it connects into a column, a stalagmite from the ground might be a stalactite. Alright, we're going to continue through these stalactites. There we go, it's kind of high still. And actually, FlCrafters is coming up behind us. She's going to take this low bridge here. So let's make sure she makes it through okay without any head bumping. And if she does bump her head, we're going to go ahead and get that on camera. Don't tell her. And we just went through a lava tube that was all crouching. And she didn't hit her head the entire
Go
time.
where the crack is. You have the ribbon going as far as that.
How low can you go? Limbo. Oh, almost made it. That was an excellent duck walk. Well done, FlCrafters. This is a killer room, isn't it?
That is cool.
Yeah,
No touching.
this is a killer room. Alright, let's press forward. Now we know that low bridge signaled that we were getting somewhat near the end of our tour through this cave. Ooh, this is called the loft. Oh, and sure enough, there's a loft up there. There's a smaller cave up there that if you're willing to make that climb, you could go hang out and have your own little private hidey hole in. What a trip. It looks like we are coming up to our stopping point here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm sure there's a reason that the lava tube tour ends here. It goes significantly further, by the way. My guess is because it's not very easily navigable. Maybe it goes into the water. Maybe it just becomes unsafe. Who knows? But that's it. The cave tour ends here. Ah, there we go. They do not own the cave passage beyond this point, which means this is as far as we can go on this tour, because otherwise we'd be trespassing, and we do not want to do that. So there we have it. Hike all the way through the largest lava tube we've found in Maui. Alright, that concludes our tour of the Hana Lava Tube. We've made it as far as we can in here. We've hit the stopping point. It's private property beyond here, but you've had a chance to walk all the way through from beginning to end with us, and this is quite the impressive place. You've been into a ton of lava tubes, right?
Yeah, and this Thurston Lava Tube is the biggest one on the Big Island, and this one here is even better. Even the small one we went to in the Big Island, this one here is even better. It's bigger.
Dominating. And I've been into quite a bit of lava tubes as well. Not as many as FlCrafters, and I've never come into anything anywhere near this. So quite the experience for us.
Yes.
Hope you guys enjoyed the tour along with us, and I can't wait to continue showing you even more of Maui in the coming videos. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.